this stuff. Okay, to the point at hand. This is the process we are observing. I already said this once, but I'm going to say it again because this is the main point. You get an infection, it triggers inflammation, that depletes your glutathione. Okay, we're following that, right? And then it damages the mitochondria. Why? Because the glutathione are protecting the mitochondria. That's one of the main things that the glutathione does. And then this is all happening, your oxidative stress levels go way, 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 way up. Okay, and you don't have the antioxidants, i.e. glutathione, et cetera, to protect you. So then the gut lining can get damaged. We're not really talking about that, but I'm just pointing that out. We're not forgetting about the microbiome. For those of you that are really into the microbiome, this is for sure a microbiome relevant, subject area too. So you have to do GI testing independent of what we're talking about today. And then the body then relies upon these adequate levels of amino acids to make antibodies. Antibodies are proteins. Antibodies are made up of 20 amino acids. If you're missing even one of those 20, your antibody production will suffer. Proteomics 101 says that in order to synthesize human proteins, all proteins in the human body except for collagen, you have to have all 20 amino acids present. Okay, you also need amino acids, ironically, to make glutathione, and we'll look at that in detail. You need amino acids to support your anti-inflammatory process. That's our kynurenine pathway and the whole tryptophan thing, and in order to make cytokines, and we'll look at that in detail too. So any acute infection can cause a problem, and in some cases that you can have an acute infection and then the effects of that ripple out for years or months afterwards, or you can have a chronic low-grade infection that generates a negative response over a long period of time. Similar process, really. One's a little more exaggerated and one's a little more gradual. The weakest of weak links, and I think that if there was like a complaint department and you could file complaints about like how you felt about the design of the human body, I'd be first in line and I'd be writing this one down first. I'd be like, guys, why did you make tryptophan so important and give us so little of it? Just seems like a design flaw, major design flaw, tryptophan depletion. And then you could argue on the other side of this, then okay, maybe the design department would go back, well, yeah, but why did you guys design antidepressants? Because antidepressants deplete tryptophan, and that was your idea, wasn't it? So we have a lot of reasons why people are susceptible to having reactions to chronic infections or long-term reactions to acute infections, and a lot of it centers around amino acids, and this is the weakest of the weak links. And it's not one that you think of in regards to immune function, even a little bit, right? You wouldn't wake up in the morning and think, oh yeah, I'm gonna give this patient tryptophan because they have an immune problem. It would never even occur to you to do that. But when we go back to the basic biochemistry of all these pathways, you're gonna realize, oh gosh, this is actually kind of important. So infection triggers the inflammation that raises the cytokines, that reduces the available tryptophan. Infection triggers inflammation, raises cytokines, that reduces the available tryptophan. And there's not much of it around anyways, right? Because it's the amino acid that we have in the smallest amount. Now your serotonin is in jeopardy. Okay, so you're a little depressed, can't sleep well. That's one problem. Maybe you're overeating ice cream at night or whatever, from low serotonin. However, it's protein synthesis that's even more of a big issue, because you can have these localized issues that have to do with the serotonin being low, depression, mood, problems like that. But with the protein synthesis being on the rocks, you have global issues. And which proteins we're talking about? All proteins, all proteins. I just put this as a summary thing. We're not going to be able to talk about all this, but I just wanted to have like a summary slide so you can just kind of see where we're going. These are the supplements that you should know how to use in order to fix what we're talking about today. You should know how to dose these. You should know how to find who needs these and who doesn't. It's just as important to find out who doesn't need something as who needs something, right? For example, if someone's like really low in omega-6s and you don't know that and you give them omega-3s, you're gonna make them worse, right? So you wanna sort through these, but these are the main issues here as a summary. I don't even need to read them off, right? You can see them all. And we're going to kind of touch on each of these in the talk, but I just wanted you to get a little eyes-on kind of view of this so you can see where we're heading with all this. So the key understandings here are that amino acids have